Hi, you're listening to Book Chat with author Vivian E. Moore.
Welcome, everybody, to this week's episode. We really appreciate you joining us. This podcast really shows us how we can all learn, live, and thrive off of each other. By sharing our knowledge through our conversations, we will impart some knowledge whilst learning ourselves how to progress even further. Here is your host.
Hello and welcome to Book Chat. I am your host, author Vivian E. Moore. I hope everyone had a fabulous week, and I hope that you're having an equally fabulous weekend. I have been on a short hiatus for the past 2 weeks, and the small break did me very well. I feel very energetic today and stronger. Although I wasn't ill or anything like that, the week before I took off because of I was having things done inside my home where my studio is. So of course I couldn't record during all of that. And then of course last weekend was a holiday weekend where we celebrated Memorial Day for all of the soldiers who have fought valiantly in wars and those that are fighting still. So today I am back with you. I'm happy to be here. I hope that you are happy to be here with me. And so without further ado, we're going to get straight to today's show. All right, so the title of today's show is I Can See Straight Through You. And the topic is why the publishing industry isn't recommended for thin-skinned individuals. One of my favorite lines from Death Becomes Her, starring Meryl Streep, Goldie Hawn, and Bruce Willis, is the scene when Meryl's character, she shotgun blasts Goldie's character, leaving a gaping hole in her middle, at which time she quotes that line. There's a lot of takeaways from that movie, but that one right there, it's a funny scene, if not brutal, but still poignant for today's topic. And the publishing industry can be just as brutal at rejections, and why, if you are not built for bad or unfavorable news, you may want to choose a different profession, okay? In life, we must learn to accept that all pictures don't display rosy scenes, nor will every decision be favorable. That's just reality. That's something that we teach our children, and we have to bring on those coping skills, because everything will not go toward your plans. Sometimes you got to make some changes along the way. And, sometimes you get that huge stop sign that stops you right in your tracks. And so you have to go a different way. You have to learn a new route. But over time, you will develop how to accept the good with the bad. Even if you're tender-skinned right now, but eventually, like a callus, your skin will toughen, okay? So that's some good news right there for you. Now, I know negativity can be a hard pill to swallow. And no matter how sugar-covered it may be, it does not make it go down any easier. But still, to help us grow and become better equipped for life as writers, little surprises and constructive criticism, or criticism in general, can help us do that. Most of the time we think about criticism as being something negative, when in a way it is something very positive, because without criticism, especially constructive criticism, you never learn where your strengths are or where your weaknesses lie. So when you get those critiques, they teach you something. They show you something about yourself where you can either build up or either you need to build back, okay? Publishers desire a specific type of artist, open and willing to accept that things won't always be a perception of their reality. Now, I'm not talking about the publisher's reality. I'm talking about the writer's reality. One who is pliable but thick-skinned and open to change. Everybody doesn't start out thick-skinned. You develop that over a period of time, and some people never develop a thick covering, to protect them from whatever. Some people are just soft and tenderhearted no matter what, and they don't take rejection well, because it's just something that's just not in the makeup that keeps them from dealing with that. They don't want to deal with it because it's not part of their plan. It's just not part of who they are, but over time, you do learn how to roll with the punches. And I know I'm tossing out a lot of cliches today, but they all fit, okay? All right. But in other words, if you are hypersensitive to criticism, well, prepare yourself for the sometimes brutal but honest truth, because we're going there, all right? It's important. It is part of becoming the writer who you want to be. So that includes dealing with not so positive messages, dealing with tough critiques, dealing with people who will not just tell you what you want to hear, but what you need to hear, because it will make you better. It will develop your writing skills, to a level that is just absolutely polished and exactly what the publishing industry is looking for. All right. Publishing is a major business. And they want authors who are robust, charismatic, and who create better than good stories, okay? More than that, they want authors who will grant them substantial returns on their investments, because that's what it's all about. If you can't turn them a profit from them investing in you, then bye-bye. That means, your contract is going to be terminated because you didn't live up to their expectations, all right? So everybody wants something from somebody, and that's just the way it is. That's the way this world works. If we take a chance on you, then that means you have to make sure that, you've told the line. You do everything we expect you to do. If we tell you to rewrite, you rewrite. If we tell you to cut, you cut. That's just part of the publishing industry, and that's just the honest truth of it, okay? And with that comes the responsibility of a buttload of stress. So I hope you're ready for that. Deadlines and rewrites. Let's be honest, most of us just aren't cut out for this type of pressure. It's more than just the daily pressures that we run up against on a daily basis. Every day is filled with this own host of troubles and things of that nature. But these are specific things that they just fall hand in hand, with this business. And so, you just, if you're the type person who, or you just laid back and you don't want to deal with, with the publishing industry on that level where, you're answering to somebody, then you may be better suited for the publishing industry on the independent end. Okay. Because there's a place, in that plan for every person. Either do it yourself or either let someone do it for you, but just be prepared with everything that comes along with that. And I'm not trying to scare you, but I'm just trying to prepare you for what this business is about. Because trust me, when I tell you this, and it is another cliche, but it's true, this is a dog-eat-dog world, okay? Nobody wants you if you're not worth your salt, if you can't live up to, the investment that they made in you. So, and that's just the truth of it all. And, I have to be direct, when I say that, because it's the truth. It is the honest truth. All right. So, only the ones who are rough around the edges and not at a mediocre level, but strengthened from years of ineffectual results and pitfalls, understand this message. Okay? They know. They have paid their dues. They have swum and crawled in the trenches. They have done everything to get to the level of where they are now. And it didn't come at an easy price. And I'm not saying that a lot of authors, a lot of writers, maybe they haven't experienced some of the things that I'm talking about. But I'm pretty sure they have. And I'm pretty sure if you were to have a candid conversation with them, they would tell you. They will be honest with you. They will be direct with you and tell you exactly what you're up against, and because it's a lot and you need to be prepared. It's like prepared awareness. You don't want to go into anything with blindfolds on. You need to be fully aware of what's expected, and and everything that you have to go through to get to the top. If you want to get to the top, then you have to go through some things. You have to jump through some hoops and all of that stuff to get you where you want to be. Okay. But those who are conditioned in all the right areas of their career, this message isn't for you. But everyone else who hasn't yet had their corners rounded from being on the arduous grind, okay? It's hard. It's tough. Even as an independent author, it's tough, because it's almost as if the standards for you are higher than those set for the publishing industry. Because first of all, you have to prove yourself, and that takes writing better than good stories. Doing that 110% of what's expected of you to make sure that the end product is quality, because, that's your calling card. That represents who you are in a major way. So, if you come out sloppy, you're not going to get respect for that. You want to be respected. You want to be held to the same standard as those authors who are being backed by publishing companies. So in order to do that, you got to come out swinging. You got to come out of that corner swinging. All right. So make sure that your layers are thick and virtually impenetrable, and you'll be sure to stand out for a different reason than thin skin. All right, folks. So that is our show for today. But before I let you go, I want to make sure that I give you these URLs so you can stay in contact with Book Chat with Author Vivian E. Moore, and that is every Saturday at 6. And the first URL is https://www.spreaker.com/user/Author Vivian E. Moore. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, but Instagram is by invitation only. So you can send those invitations, and I will look at them. I promise you I will. And you can check out my my website, and that is at https://www.authorvivianemore.com or either authorehshepard.com. And also my blog, today's episode will be, the script for today's episode will be listed there. And that is at https://www.vivianemore.blogspot.com. Okay. And also, if you missed the live show today, you can listen to the recorded version on Spreaker, of course, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Castbox, Deezer, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, YouTube, SoundCloud, JioSaven, Audible.com, Verbal, that is VURBL, and also Luminary. All right, so tomorrow is the first Sunday. It's Worship Sunday again, and big news, we are headed back to the church house tomorrow for the first Sunday. So I am so excited about that. And I hope that, if you're not back in your church home, maybe you will be getting there soon. It's been well over a year since the last time we held service at our church house. So I'm excited about that. And I'm looking forward to fellowshipping again with all of my church members. I miss them dearly. Although, we've had the virtual church every Sunday since the beginning of this pandemic. But, truly, it is not the same as being able to lay eyes on those people that you don't get to see on a daily basis. But every Sunday you get to see them. And it's an extension of your family. It's an extension of my family. That's how I see them anyway. So anyway, invite your family and your friends and your neighbors to listen in to those sermons that will be preached. If you're still listening to them virtually, or if you are back in the building, and also be sure to tell people that you love them, because tomorrow is not promised to any of us. So on that note, I love you. I hope you love me back. Until the next time you hear my voice, God bless you and goodbye.
Loved what you've heard on this week's episode? Well, the answer is simple. It would mean the world to us if you could head over to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review and feedback. Spreading the word really is the best way to grow our podcast and achieve even greater things. Thank you.